Dave Mason, huffing and puffing, ready to blow this house down and get on here and have some fun with us. Dave, welcome in.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. It was a interesting weekend, another interesting weekend, and here we go, week 13. Or actually, we're not even done week 12 yet, so we still got more to talk about, I guess.
I mean, business is business, Dave. When we take a look at it, I mean, you have to love this. I mean, pretty soon we're going to be at the marker in week 15. We're going to have a Monday game, a Tuesday game, Wednesday, Thursday, and a Friday, setting up central stages here. But it brings in a nice little segue to what we're talking about from a bookmaker's perspective as we look at it. Do you have a guy, I have to ask this, do you have a guy that's just 24/7 sitting around waiting on like quarterbacks and interesting information to come back? Because I want to point to that Denver Broncos game where it was a 6.5 point line. News comes out that Denver's not going to have any quarterbacks, flashes off the market, and if some books are slow to take it down, I'm sure they got hammered for those few minutes that it was still up, reappears at 13, ends up at 17. Dave, what's your protocol? What's the system behind the counter look like when you have this information come out? Is there like a flip switch or a fail switch out there?
Well, yeah, I mean, you take the stuff offline real fast. It's the same protocol as always every year, but it's just happening much more often, right? And it's happening that when it does happen, it's much more drastic. Like that Denver game was just, I mean, we'll never see something like that again. Well, maybe we will this year, but after this year, hopefully not. So yeah, I mean, you got the guys that they're monitoring the screen, and alerts come up on the screen, and they're monitoring Twitter. That's the thing. That's what makes it so more difficult these days. Back in the day, everybody's just working off the screen, and hardly, only a few of your bettors had the screen and getting the alerts and everything. But now, with Twitter, it's just that information is instantaneous, and the bettors are getting the information almost as fast as the books are. So if we're not on our toes, you're going to get beat. And all it takes is about a minute, for not even a minute, to have stale odds up there, and you can really get exposed there, especially, the limits are high and everything. Everybody's going to take advantage of you, and so that comes down to getting your guys on the stage and working hard and paying attention, and no bathroom breaks, man. No bathroom breaks during NFL Sunday. Stay at your desk.
It's something that we haven't seen before, so it always interests me. Like, you take it off and there's no quarterbacks, because it's not like you just go to a chart and say, well, Ben Roethlisberger's down, we're just going to go to the backup quarterback, or Carson Wentz is down, we're going to go to the backup quarterback. You literally have a situation where you don't actually know who the quarterback is, and then word starts filtering down that it's going to be a backup wide receiver. Is there like a flow chart for you guys, Dave? They say, all right, well, not the backup, not the third string, fourth string, a wide receiver coming. It's so interesting to me how that number pops up, because at BetOnline, I know you guys pride yourself in getting those numbers out as fast as possible. Just some interesting circumstances.
No, there's no algorithms, flow charts, matrices. There's nothing for computing the spread when the backup wide receiver is a starting quarterback. No, there's not. It's pull the number out your what and throw it up there and see what happens. That's what it is. A good guesstimation, and throw it up there and see who people are betting and move fast.
Well, Dave, they say we won't see that again this year. Eagles fans, they see it every single week. They don't have a quarterback when Carson Wentz rolls out on the field. So, that's a low blow early in the show. But
hey, we're half game out of first place, pal.
Exactly.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Like I tweeted today, the saying is good teams win, great teams cover. We're only a half game out of NFC East,
That's right. And it was, speaking of the public, and it was a rough week for the public. The Raiders, I took a heavy L on that. That's another team, no quarterback. Derek Carr, get the hell out of here. The Cardinals, the Giants, the Browns, even, 6.5 last night for Seattle gets taken away on a Hail Mary one-handed catch by a second-string tight end. Did you have your Tommy Bahama shirt on this week? Were you celebrating as the public died hard this weekend?
Yeah, Sunday was great. I mean, the Falcons were huge. Patriots are big. Bengals, Jaguars, Buccaneers huge with that leg cover. Oh. Yeah, right. Oh. Losers for us are Titans, Bills, Dolphins, Saints. Yeah, last night's game, we almost got murdered on that. We still lost a little bit. We did get middled a little bit on the spread. We lost big on the money line. We won a little bit on the total. One big on the closing spread, but there were a lot of hookups for those teasers. They were such a popular tease this weekend, the Seahawks. So we got any pending teasers for the weekend pretty much all got graded winners. So all in all, we were a small loser last night, but it could have been a lot worse if Carson didn't pull that, last play, and then 2-point conversion. Great job, Doug Peterson, for the 2-point conversion.
The best part about it too is we were watching the game live, Dave, last night on a Monday Night Football telecast. And most people in the chat box, I mean, everybody was Seattled up. I even said in the game, I think Seattle's going to win the game by double digits. So once they kick the field goal, everybody does the math in their head and say, well, if the Eagles score a touchdown, there's no point in going for two. They're just going to kick the extra point and then see if they can make the onside kick. And of course, Doug Peterson pulls out the only play that the Eagles have is a read option, and it walks into the end zone, and the chat box explodes. Nobody can believe it because it sort of caught you by surprise. You get that, which I can't believe they threw like a Hail Mary up anyway, just a lob in the middle of the field with 25 seconds to go. But then you see the outcomes, and even on the weekend, as Kyle said, the Browns game, they had that lead. They were covering a late, meaningless touchdown, basically. The Giants as well, 19-10. Hey, easy cover for us in this game. You saw the Bengals go down. Same thing with the Cardinals, kicking a field goal that would have won the football game. They end up missing that, and how quickly it flips over. That witching hour in the NFL is good stuff to look at. Let's keep it moving here, because one of the interesting things we talked about last week, Dave, setting some prices or getting some lines, because it's coming into focus now with the Jets, who I had the Miami Dolphins team total over 24 and said, hey, 2-minute warning, 3 timeouts with the Jets. Now, the game is pretty much in hand 20-3, but most coaches will say, hey, let's fight to the end, see what we can do. They just waved the white flag, and the Dolphins took 3 knees inside the 5, and I'm exploding. I'm going, you know what? That's what I get for betting a game against the Jets, who I know who quit. So looking at the Jets, I'm thinking the Jets, it's easier to go 0-16 for them from what I see than the Steelers going 16-0. But we see the Steelers tomorrow coming on Wednesday football. Then they're going to have to play again. So there's a lot of wrenches in the way. How are we looking price-wise for the Jets going 0-16 and possibly for the Steelers going 16-0?
Yeah, I mean, the Jets are finally favored to go 0-16. It's finally flipped. It's currently minus 175.
That's crazy.
There's still so much time. Minus 175 to go 0-16. I mean, it's just pathetic. Steelers 16-0 pays plus 550, so that there's a big variance there.
That is a huge variance. That is crazy. Think about that. You are favored to go 0-16. Adam Gase still holding on to his job. Great job by Woody Johnson and the Jets. Looking ahead to this weekend, so you guys had a great weekend. That damn late cover by the Buccaneers really got me too. That one was one that stuck in my craw a little bit. I lost a little bit of sleep over that. I was happier because my 49ers with competent Nick Mullins came out there and got the job done. But looking ahead to this weekend, what are some big spots you're looking at for Week 13?
Yeah, already some big early needs here. The Raiders seem to be the biggest one right now at the Jets. That just tells you how bad the Jets are, because how the Raiders were a huge need for the public this past weekend and they got embarrassed. Usually bettors will jump off that bandwagon real quick, but nope, they're riding the Raiders again. 91% of the early bettors are on the Raiders at the Jets. And I think that's more of a bet against the Jets than it is for the Raiders, one of those things. 80% on the Colts, 76% on the Lions, 78% on the Titans versus the Browns, 72% Bills minus 2.5 at the 49ers. So those right now are biggest sweats. We're still waiting on a couple games to hit the board. I mean, I was going back to the NFC East, I was looking at the lineup here, man. All 4 NFC East teams could potentially be right around double-digit dogs this week. It's sickening, and we're gonna have we already have a lot of props ready to go for that. So they'll probably open tomorrow, like how many of the 4 teams will lose by double digits, etc. So we're gonna have a lot of good NFC East props up on the site tomorrow.
I love that. I'm kind of surprised that all that action's coming in on Detroit early. What have we seen out of Detroit that makes everyone so excited? I know the Bears stink.
Mitch, Mitch.
That's a weird one too. I don't know, but I think it's some of these teams are so god awful. It's just like some people are just betting against the bad team instead of betting for the team they're betting on. That one was a head scratcher to me as well.
Yeah, that one's interesting. And looking ahead to tomorrow just a little bit here, this Pittsburgh-Baltimore game, obviously, RG3 coming out there, the darling for books, I'm sure. What are you guys rooting for tomorrow as we try to decide what to do with the 12:40 game on a Wednesday?
We'll be rooting for the Ravens. It looks like about 67% of the action is on the Steelers, and it's such a there's not even a lot of action on it yet. It's such a pain in the neck. I mean, we've opened and had to close this game 3 times now. It's that's another thing. Like we're on this kind of learning experience in 2020, and every time we have to do this, people are hitting me up on Twitter. Hey, why'd you cancel my bet? And it's like, dude. If an NFL game is played a different day, we have to no action all bets and blah, 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 blah. So we've had to do this with this damn Steelers game, 3 times now. So, action will come pouring in, but we just opened it this morning or whatever. So not a lot of action on it yet.
A lot of big stuff going on there, specifically in the NFL. And as we said when we started the conversation here, Dave, you got Wednesday next week, doubleheader on Monday night, another Tuesday football game. Pretty soon, Saturday triple header. So a lot of good things on the horizon. Dave, tell the people what's going on at betonline.ag that we can look forward to moving in. Because, hey, college basketball's out there. NFL's rolling through. Always a slick, fast interface out there for you.
Yes, sir. First of all, we always had the earliest opening odds for all these North American sports. That's very important. Last night was a prime example. Yeah, Seahawks bettors have gotten -6.5. You lost, but if you hit that number earlier in the week, you won your bet. So always pay attention to the earliest odds. That's the better value than any bonus. But if you are into bonuses, we got some of the biggest around. You got 100% crypto bonus for first-time crypto users, 35% reload on all crypto reloads. 50% welcome bonus for other methods, 25% reload for other methods. All the terms and conditions and promo codes can be found at betonline.ag/promotions.
Awesome stuff there. Dave Mason, betonline.ag. Thank you once again for joining us on a Tuesday. Good luck Wednesday football. Get some sleep down there, Dave.